Hello, folks. Welcome to Yogi Dave's Hobby podcast where I talk about everything from tabletop RPGs, tabletop war games, tabletop board games, and everything those particular hobbies encompass. Today, first off, I'm going to talk about Glasgow Game Gathering, the show by Glasgow Games Group on the 29th of June at the Glasgow Club in Bellhouston. This is the first Glasgow wargaming or gaming show in a good long while. The reason G3 are putting it on is it's their 20th anniversary. This year is also Glasgow District Wargaming Society's 50th anniversary, so it's a big year for Glasgow gaming. So this is their first foray to organise the game show. The looking to get as many traders and everything for as usual at a show. They're going to be having clubs run participation games rather than pure display games for the most part. Obviously, you know, there is going to be display games. I think Glasgow District are doing it. I'm not involved in it for once, which might surprise people because normally I'm the person that's there all the time. I will be there as a punter though, and I will be there to help out at some point with the Glasgow District display. But you know, if you live in Glasgow, if you live in the Central Belt at all, this is a good thing to do. Come and support it because we haven't had a show in Glasgow in a good long while, at least a regular one, where you haven't had to pay to actually put a game on. The Bellhouston Club regularly hosts record fairs, skill model shows, and antique fairs, so we should be able to accommodate the game show. So it's between 10 and 4 on the 29th of June, Saturday, funnily enough. So hopefully you'll come along. And unlike at Canada, they might actually get to meet people. That would be cool. Didn't get to meet a lot of people at that, but yeah. So that is that. That's that little plug for the Glasgow Game Group and the Glasgow Game Gathering. Obviously, no affiliation. I have no affiliation with them or the show. Just plugging a show. So first thing I'm going to talk about today is a couple of RPGs. Now, 2 of them have already gone to Kickstarter, but they're currently in their pre-order stage. So there's Veil of the Void. It's a sci-fi fantasy tabletop RPG with the 11 rule set. It's by a company called SDG Publishers. I think that's the name at least. But yeah, so what's going on with that is it's had 181 backers. It's done its fundraising. What currently is available is the Coro book for £57 if you want hardback version, or you can do the Coro book PDF, which is £20. So why I'm talking about this is the SDG Creatives is the company's name. As you probably know, I'm doing my own RPG, and I talked to the guy that's at the head of Veil of the Void. I never get anyone's names because I'm shocking at it. So Trevor, I'm assuming is the guy that's behind the Twitter account. So been working on it for 16 years, the universe anyway, and the rules for about 4 years. It's interesting because you get sci-fi with fantasy and all the rest, that kind of stuff, but there's none of the, from what I've seen of it, there's none of the, you know, the usual trope sci-fi fantasy. You know, there's no space dwarfs, there's no space elves. It's different, you know, races are different. It seems really, really interesting. And much as I would love to have put some money on it, I haven't had the ability to do so. Excuse me. So that's one of the RPGs that I've been looking at, and the guy behind Veil of the Void's Twitter account has been helpful to me in my own attempts at getting stuff written and done for our RPG. So that's why I'm plugging him. I've getting no skin in the game with any of these guys that I'm plugging, any of these sets of rules or settings that I'm plugging, because I'm doing it because that's who I am. I plug people that I think deserve it, and from help and advice from even just little bits of advice, I'm like, well, they're trying to be cool. They're not trying to be, oh, you might be a rival at some point and all the rest of that kind of bullshit. And to be honest, it's also a small company. So 1-man, 2-man, 3-man bands, just like we are. I kind of more pushed towards helping people at that out, because tabletop RPGs are difficult to get into, and I don't know, I'm pushing towards plugging more not mainstream indie, I suppose is the best term for it. Indie publishers. Obviously, the people that get involved with, doing stuff for D&D and all the rest, that are cool, and I will plug some of them at some point, once I've actually played some of their adventures. Obviously, I have to pay for them, so we need to pick up that at some point. But I will be buying these. I'm not plugging these and going, oh, I'll not actually buy them. At some point I will. It's just right now, funds are a wee bit tight. And, obviously, we're trying to write our own RPG, so I don't have time to actually do anything with them. But once that's done, we'll be getting in the nitty gritty with that. So Veil of the Void, as I said, the backer kit. I will put the link in the bottom in the notes, and you can. Next up is Welcome to T-Core, is the name of the book. It's for the Swordsfall RPG, which is an Afro-punk sci-fi fantasy RPG. I can't even talk today. So Welcome to T-Core is essentially just a setting and art book. It's not getting any rules, but the whole point of it is to fit it into your set of rules, the tabletop system that you like using. It's just narrative, world building, and fantasy art, and the art is absolutely fan-fucking-tastic. That's what drew me to this particular setting, was the artwork, and it's fucking awesome. I quite like it. I quite like what he's done. I don't have the guy's name. I keep on trying to find it, but I keep on getting sidetracked by looking at stuff. Right, I can't find the guy's name, but and I keep forgetting to ask his name because I'm a dick. But what he's actually got is like loads of apparel and stickers and a lot of cool stuff that you can buy that doesn't necessarily need to be, anything to do with the actual set of rules. There's t-shirts, there's jumpers, there's pillows, there's cushion covers, There's blankets, hats. It's all very, very, very cool. Some artwork, which is very cool. And yeah, I mean, it looks very, very cool. And again, with this particular RPG setting book, I will be buying it once I have some fucking money to buy it. But Soki, right? The name of the guy here is Soki Oshiro. Don't know what his actual. I mean, that's obviously the name he goes by. I really, really, really want to buy this setting book. Really, really want to buy it now, but can't, unfortunately. But excuse me. You can pre-order the Welcome to Tikor Swordsfall setting, an art book on his website, which I will put a link to. You can get the digital version, and you can get a book called The Professionals for $17. These are in dollars, so the source book, the hardcover, is €44.79, so €44.79. The setting and art book is €26.87, and T-Core, The Professionals digital, the book is $17.91. So everything on, you can switch it into US dollars, you can switch it into euros, you can switch it into Canadian dollars, so that's pretty cool. But I mean, it's a really, really good idea. It's like pre-colonial Africa, in the rich lore that you've never heard of. But I think it's a very cool idea. So it's the world of T-Core. So it's obviously, it's taking the rich lore from pre-colonial Africa, taking it to this world T-Core, and updated it. Put different. I don't know what the word for it is really. My brain is starting to go, you're a dick. It's got its own timeline. All the history and everything, and it looks really, really cool. So, please, if you're looking for something a bit, not just a bit different, but taken away from the usual low high fantasy settings that we have that are Eurocentric, and want something Afrocentric, or can't go out and buy this. That's kind of what I'm saying, and I will be joining you at some point. Obviously, right now we are in the middle of writing our own RPG, so we are not going to be doing anything else for a while. Once we've done with our current campaigns, everything will kind of be focused on that. But once that's done, I'll probably buy it in the near future, and it will sit on my shelf of stuff I haven't played, and will get played at some point. The next set of rules that I'm going to talk about, and this is a set of rules, is called Domains. It's by a company called Ordolea Publishing out of Croatia. It is a tabletop role-playing game of horror, survival, and dread. So the core rulebook will contain the rules needed to create characters and stories in a twisted world of darkness and despair. Every action has its own consequences, which builds up the atmosphere of the horror. In the Domains horror role-playing system, players aren't scared. The scared ones, the characters are. With this idea in mind, the system is built to give the players the option of exploring the characters' fear and expanding the story upon that. So that's interesting to me, because the only stuff I've come across that are horror based really is the Cthulhu sets of rules. So it's all like Call of Cthulhu, Delta Green, all these kinds of, well, is Delta Green even a Call of Cthulhu set of rules? But yeah, I mean all these different sets of rules are very much Call of Cthulhu based. So with the domains, it's all his own ideas. I'm pretty sure a lot of it will have Croatian influences, so Croatian horror. I'm not 100% sure, but the reason that I'm plugging this particular set of rules is the guy, like the guys at Veil of the Void and Swordsfall have been helpful to me, and me looking at various things that I've been doing with my set of rules, and that's why, anyone that helps me out, I'm gonna plug. That's the way I am. That's the way I look at things, and if they're gonna try do their best to try and help you out, you help them out. That's it. The thing with this set of rules is there is like a playtest rule set of rules out there. It did give me a link to it, and I think I have downloaded it. But obviously, with all the stuff that's going on with us, I haven't actually done a massive look at it. But what I have looked at, it looks an interesting set of rules. So, but the thing is, it's not taking, as far as I can see, it's not taking a hand from Call of Cthulhu, and using the Cthulhu mythos, which you tend to find with a lot of fantasy or a lot of RPG games that are horror based. They take a lot of they either take the classic European or American fantasy horror monsters like vampires and werewolves and what have you, and turn them into the your characters into those particular kinds of those creatures, or it's Cthulhu based. But he doesn't seem to be taking that particular line, which is interesting, and it's going to be interesting to see how it comes about, because he's in Croatia, he can't use Kickstarter, which is quite limiting, I think, really, for him to get the funding to do everything. Obviously, he's trying to do the coffee thing, which I do, which I will. I'm actually running a thing to try and get some money to get some artists to do some art for us. Not any of the big stuff, just like some art that we can put on, various bits and pieces. And obviously I want to pay these people to do it, so I don't want to, I don't want to go out and go, oh, will you do this for pennies, or will you do this for exposure, because that's a dick thing to do. And he's that I got that idea from him. He's using his coffee account to try and get money for artwork. So that's an idea from there. So that's why I'm plugging him. But I do think that that's a very interesting idea, a very, very interesting change to the norm. That's why I like Veil of the Void. That's why I like Swordsfall. That's why I like domains. They're different, and they dare to be different. And I like that. I like when people are trying to do a different thing, take a different tack from D&D, from Pazio, with Pathfinder and Starfinder, and all the bigger companies. People trying to take a different tack. I like that. And that's why I said I'm plugging these particular people, because they're taking a different tack to the norm, and I will continue to plug them every now and again. So you keep on hearing the name. So that's that. right now, we are working on the RPG of our own, obviously. Things are moving along at a bit of a slower pace than in the beginning, because obviously, right in the beginning, there was loads and loads of enthusiasm and all this, that kind of stuff. We're not losing the enthusiasm. Don't take that as we're losing the enthusiasm. It's just trying to get in the nitty gritty of things. It's proven more problematic than I thought it was going to be. Because when you talk to people about the various things and like, oh no, that's cool, and then other people like, well, that'll kind of bog things down, will it not? Yeah, so I think a lot of the rules that we're going to put in will be optional, obviously, because it's going to be your game. You can take the basic rules and make them, that's the basis for your game, but you just run with it for the rest of it. You do what you want with the rest of it. You can use it as a setting rather than using the rules. I think that's an idea. I don't want to do a purely settings book because D&D has got to the point where it's actually certain things about D&D are driving me fucking crazy, and Pazio haven't fucking fixed them with Pathfinder. So, I'm doing my own thing. Well, I'm not obviously doing my own thing on my own, but there are things that I'm like, well, that done work, that done work, that done work. That's not how it works really. And neither of them are doing anything about it. So I'm like, well, I'll do something about it. I'll fix it in my set of rules. But also, I don't want people to go, oh, I don't want the rules. I want the setting. That's cool. Part of the idea is that once we've released the setting book for our set of rules for Legends of Ham and Sharon, and whatever system we decide to call it, we'll release a settings book for that particular area of Ham and Sharon for just as a setting book, not as any specific type of rules, but my idea is at some point getting somebody in, once obviously we've established and we've got some money coming in, pay somebody to do possibly converting stuff for obviously D&D and Pathfinder and an other set of rules, maybe the 2D20 sets of rules, switching that up, because we do enjoy the 2D20 system, but it's an in-house thing for Modiphius, and if we wanted to use it, we'd either have to license it, which I don't really want to go down that route, or sell it to Modiphius, and again, I don't want to go down that particular route. But that's the idea. Maybe bringing people in to do these things at some point. I don't know, because I keep on looking big picture, a little bit more than I should sometimes. Obviously because I am very, very invested in it, because it's obviously my brainchild. And the other guys are helping in every way that they can. It's just, this is, I have to think of these things. I have to go, well, how many people are actually going to play it? How much money can we possibly get to invest in it? All these different things. So, yeah. That's the state of play with our RPG at the moment. We're kind of in a holding pattern as to updates at the moment. Sam's working on carrying the carry weights and stuff like that. Barry's working on some more stuff that I asked him to work on. Obviously, I have given him guidelines, but that's fine. And Alistair and Bianca are working on the the tech side of it. Obviously, Alistair's working on the character sheet as well, but that kind of needs a bit more of myself and Sam stuff finished before we can kind of figure that out. Really. So yeah, I mean, it is coming along. It's not coming along as quickly as it was in the beginning, obviously, because thick and fast right at the beginning, but it is coming along. And still hoping to have it done for September, so it'll probably be the end of September by the time I finished it, we're finished it, but you know, that's a good 3 months away, 3.5 months away. But that's just going to be like the basic core set of rules that is going to go out and get play tested. I need to sit down and write some adventures and all the rest of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to seeing it going. But stuff going on right now in the background in my life as well, that's kind of hampering some things. Looking for a new house. I've got a lot of stuff that I'm working on as well. So you know, there's lots of things going on. So yeah. I think this is going to be a short one today. I think it's just going to be talking about some RPG stuff, because I have a lot of things to do today. You know, there's a couple of potential projects that are coming up, and also I'm gaming tonight, so there's a lot of stuff housework to be done. But you know, gaming wise or hobby wise. Obviously Infinity RPGs tonight, so that'll be getting recorded and uploaded at some point in the near future, hopefully Wednesday or Friday, depends on how much time I get to edit it over the next day or two. And right now, you know, there is a lot of things going on in our life, mine and Fiona's, that we're having to deal with, moving house. And trying to find a place to stay. It's kind of one of those. Obviously, my work situation is not great because I'm back on the door. It's bringing money in, but I really, 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 really need to find something permanent. Anyone knows anybody looking for anyone entry-level IT networking, give me a shout. Honestly. Kind of in that position. I'm doing shout outs. In Scotland, in the Central Belt, with public transport links. Because everywhere seems to have no fucking public transport links. It's not helping me at all. Not helping. I would talk about some Games Workshop stuff or board games or stuff. Oh, yes, board games. This Sunday, I will be at Glasgow District War Games Society's. I'll be there. I will have a whole bunch of board games. So if you want to come along and have a game, come along, have a game. Between 12:30 and 5:30, I think. I don't know if I'll be there at 12:30, but probably closer to 1:30. And we'll do some games. We'll video them for the YouTube channel. Really, really sorry about the way the YouTube channel's going right now. I keep on meaning to upload stuff, but haven't uploaded it. I'll try and get that done today or sometime this week to get some videos uploaded so they can get running. I've got a little video for Cannonade that I'm working on, that I will upload at some point. It's just videos of all the displays that I went through and thought, oh, that's quite nice. Oh, that's quite nice. I've got loads of friggin' pictures as well, but I need to upload them to somewhere where I don't need to upload like 15 different bloody times because there's about 150 of them. So Instagram only takes 10 at a time. Fucking Twitter only takes 3 at a time sometimes, as far as I'm aware. And Facebook's kind of the same and all. So, you know, not uploading them in batches. Find somewhere to host them. And then put a link in. So yeah, I think that's that for me. A very short one today. Well, a short one for me. As I said in the beginning, Glasgow Game Gathering, 29th of June, and the Glasgow Club Bellahouston between 10 and 4. That's Saturday if you're in the Glasgow area or you are in the Central Belt. Hope you go along and support them and their endeavour. The coffee account is being used right now. Not any raffles. Just looking for a little bit of help for getting some art done for the set rules, so we can, you know, have little bits of art in anything we do. Because it's difficult for me to go, oh, do I have any money to do it? And I'm not willing to go to somebody, oh, can you do it for exposure? Because that's a bullshit thing to do. That's an asshole thing to do. And I wouldn't do it to anyone. So yeah, that's it for today. I'm going to say good day, happy hobby.